All right, so we're gonna move on here to lower body. Patty's gonna be doing a bum touch, and Carol's gonna be doing a bit of a plie squat. Now we'll get you guys started. Again, we're gonna do 2 sets of 12 here with that 30-second to 1-minute break in between. We're working our glutes and our quadriceps here. So as Patty sits down, she wants to bring those hips back, have the majority of the weight on her heels, and if you notice, she's doing a great job with her knees. We don't want your knees folding in. We want them tracking right over your toes. They're doing a great job keeping their nice strong back position. And Carol's doing a plie squat here as the progression. And what she's doing is when she comes up, she's really squeezing those glutes together. So again, a little bit more work. She's getting a little bit more core work. Now Carol's holding a weight. It's about a 15-pound weight. You don't need to go and buy a 15-pound weight. A really good idea is to fill up a big old laundry jug or a milk jug or something, 4-liter, 6-liter jug that you can fill up some water, and you can definitely use that as your resistance. So we'll go on to the second set here. As the girls are sitting down, it's hard to see from that angle, but they're keeping a nice neutral spine, which means that their hips are coming back. You don't want to go into a squat position with a rounded back. You want that back nice and open and those shoulder blades pulled back and that chest open. Good job, you guys. And even for Carol, she's going to have a little bit of the weight on the outstep of her foot and the heel. We don't want her falling forward and having those knees collapse or being on the toes. Good. 2 sets? Yeah, right on. Okay. All right, so we're going to move forward to the back of the leg. And here we're going to be working hamstrings and glutes. So Patty again is in the beginner position with 2 feet on the bench. Here we're using benches. At home you guys can use chairs or even stairs, anything that's elevated. So Patty's pushing up bilaterally, both legs at the same time, squeezing her butt as she comes up. As the girls come down, they're just grazing the bottom of the mat. They're not taking a break where it's flat on the mat. You just have 12, right? So we're doing a set of 12. Again, Patty will be going through that exercise just a little bit quicker, but the progression here for Carol is unilaterally, so it does take a little bit longer. Good job, you guys. So if you want to make what Carol's doing just a little bit tougher, just to put Carol on the spot, she can raise her hands and she can also push her leg back and now lift up. Or not.
There's 12.
Okay, perfect. Good.
You are correct.
It is harder. All right, so Patty, just make sure those knees aren't collapsing in towards each other. Good. Very nice. And Carol's making it a little bit harder because she's just that much tougher. So she wants to make sure here that that leg that's not doing the work, that hip is still in a nice stable position. So whether you're doing the bilateral or the unilateral, you want to make sure that those hips are straight across. Good job, Carol. It's a tough exercise.
It is a tough exercise.
I think Patty got the good end of this one. Good. Perfect. And this is really challenging. It's tough, eh?
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Okay, here we go, ladies. We're moving on to hip abduction here, which works the glute medius and minimus, helps with pelvic stabilization, and makes our butt look good. Awesome. All right, so Patty is going to have her hips stacked, her shoulders stacked. Let's just take your hand. Yeah, perfect. And now she's going to lift that top leg up as she's pointing her toe to the floor. Good. And now up and down. Good. So she'll do 12 repetitions of this. Nice and slow and controlled. You always want to make sure you're doing a 1 second up, 2 second down movement. So you don't want to just lift that leg and plunk it right down. You want to make sure that muscle's working on the eccentric or downward motion as well. So Carol's doing a little bit of an advanced move here. She's got the band. And Carol, can you maybe start at the beginning and show them how you're getting into that exercise? So she's going to place the band under her feet, stepping on top. Make sure it's on the midsole of your foot. And then she's going to actually cross her hands in front, stand up nice and tall as Patty shifts to the other leg. She's going to stand up nice and tall and turn those toes in. And then we're going to go back and forth. Make sure you have a fair amount of distance between the elastic And you don't want to ever not have resistance. So you always want to have a little bit of resistance there. And Carol's doing a great job of not letting that band pull her leg towards her other leg. Good. So Carol will be doing a total of 24 or 12 per leg. And then for Patty, it'll take her just that little bit longer doing this one unilaterally. Good job, ladies. How many is that, Carol? 10. Good. And making sure too, same thing, I know I'll say it over and over again, but if you don't use your core through every movement you're doing, it's not working. So when you have the opportunity in a fairly simple exercise like this, make sure you're engaging the core, and it'll help you for future, and it'll help make that core a little bit stronger. Good job, guys.
I don't know if I'm doing a good job counting.
Yeah, you should maybe stop. So Patty, you're on the second set?
Yeah.
All right, and Carol's going to move on to her second set here too. Toes are turned in. Make sure those toes are turned in so you're not working the external rotators in your butt. Good. Eyes are forward. The other thing you want to make sure make sure that happens when you're doing what Carol's doing here is that you're not dipping from side to side. You want to stay nice and tall. The only thing that's moving are your legs, your upper body staying nice and stiff. Good job, girls. He's starting to feel the burn on the side. Yeah, good.
I didn't think I had hips.
We'll always find those muscles. Good. How many yet? Good job. All right, nice work, ladies. We're going to move on to calf raises here. Patty is going to be doing the beginner move again, and she's going to be doing a bilateral movement or both legs at the same time. So you want to make sure that your heel is coming past the platform, but you don't want to feel an excessive stretch on that calf. A little bit is fine, but you don't want it to be excessive. But you want a nice full range of motion here. Carol's doing the progression, and she's going with a single leg. So Patty's going to do one set of 12 bilateral. Carol's going to do one set of 12 on each leg, okay? Now, if you find that it's a little bit too tough to move on to this one-legged calf raise, you can always do what Patty's doing and then hang on to a weight, okay? Anything heavy is good, can of beans, laundry soap, whatever it is, just to make it that little bit tougher. So again, we'll keep going here. You want to make sure you're nice and tall. Posture is always the key. Core engaged, always tight. Yeah, you can just go back and forth for sure. So you don't have to take a ton of break here when for Carol, because while one's not working and the other is, she's getting a little break on that leg. Haha, good enough for you. Good. Nice work, guys. So make sure those eyes are straight ahead again. Posture is good, shoulders are back. We want to open that chest as often as we can. For daily living, it tends to be really internally rotated. Great work, Patty. How do those calves feel?
Good.
Good, good. Is this last one, Carol?
Yeah.
What are we at?
9.
Good. And last two. Nice. Good job. All right, so we're going to move into dorsiflexion, which is working the front of the leg, the tib anterior here. And what we find very often is when people feel pain on the front of the legs, they tend to call it shin splints. A lot of times it can be from a weak tib anterior because our calf muscles tend to be so strong. So what I want you to do for setup here is to be about 18 to 24 inches away from the wall. Your head and shoulders are in contact with the wall, butt's in contact with the wall, and then just I know you can't see from this angle, but your lower back is not flat against the wall. It's in that nice lordotic curve. So you should be able to fit a hand through there. So what you're going to do is lift those toes up towards the shin and then slowly back down. I don't have a progression for this for you guys. You can hold the top of the movement a little bit longer if it starts to become too easy. So let's go second set, ladies. So again, good posture, nice and tall, chest is open, toes are coming up. So if Patty, as the beginner, just does a slight up and down for maybe 1 second, Carol can hold it up for 1001, 1002, and then release it. And then that way you're working just a little bit harder. How's that, guys? Do you feel that?
Feel different, big difference.
Yeah. This really helps us, again, like I had said, strengthening the front of the shin. And if you increase your walking, like we'd love you to increase your walking, you'll find this will definitely help you out.